Earnhardt, Allison, Petty, Schrader, Kulwicki, and Rudd. One car bounces off the wall. Could that have been Rusty Wallace? Dave Mader.
Yeah, Mader squared the side of the car up.
Drops to the rear. 6 laps to go.
That Ford of Davies now.
Ricky Rudd caught up high. Drops a spot.
They better gang up on that 28 if they plan to beat him. But I'll tell you one thing. You see that 3 car out there? That's one of the toughest cars in the world to beat in this kind of race anyhow.
It's probably going to take a combination. It's going to take Dale running hard as he can, and Kyle Petty put some heat on the second place car also.
A lot of heat in midfield as Ricky Rudd and Jeff Bodine battle. Rusty Wallace getting worked side by side right behind them. And up front, it's heating up. Here comes Kyle.
Kyle making a move to the inside.
And here comes Kulwicki with him.
Now, this is if they get racing side by side, Dale's going to break away on this. Start this.
4 laps to go. This time.
Kyle and Davey hit.
But Kyle completed the pass. And Davies dropped back about 3 car lengths. Kulwicki's going to make a run on him. Kulwicki and Schrader side by side now. That's 4th place.
Davies got a lot of push in this car. He's on the bottom. He's using a lot of brake to hold it down there, but he just cannot go in the center part of the corner.
There's Alan Kulwicki running Kenny Schrader hard. That's for 4th place. Chevy versus Ford. Chevy, Pontiac, Ford, Chevy, and Ford. 3 laps to go.
I'll tell you what, Kyle's pulling up on Dale. His car works well on the bottom of the racetrack.
You know yourself, catching him one thing, passing him another.
It's the name of the game.
Nobody has won this race more than once except Dale Earnhardt, 87 and 90.
Kyle's car right here on the bottom. We got a picture right here with Kulwicki racing side by side, but Kyle was able to gain the 3 and 4 on Dale.
Great side-by-side battle for Ford. Kulwicki and Schrader. 2 to go. Bill Elliott pulling up right with them. And up front, Earnhardt and Kyle Petty are separated now by only 2 car lengths.
Wow.
Davey Allison shuffled back a bit, but he's gaining.
This is only right. Saturday night racing.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's going to come down to the last lap.
You stretch this field like a big rubber band, and it's got to snap back together again, and that's just what it's doing. White flag, 1 lap to go.
He's going to get a shot at him.
Kyle Petty is there. He is just a car length back of Earnhardt. Davey Allison coming up, but I don't think will be a factor. Kyle just hauls it off the corner. He's got the inside.
I'll tell you what.
He's up to Earnhardt's bumper. Earnhardt takes it.
They're on the racing service down on the flat part of the racetrack.
And it's Kyle Petty. Kyle Petty coming to the checkered flag. Here comes Davey Allison to the bottom. It'll be the finish everybody was waiting for. They crashed past the finish line. They have crashed into turn number 1. And Davey Allison is in a shower of sparks.
He won the race, but he sure paid the price for it.
What a finish, Mike. I'm telling you. The lead swapped 3 times on in the last quarter mile of the racetrack.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Talk about one hot night. Oh, we got to look at this again. And we'll be back to do it right after these messages. Did this live up to its billing or what? Wow. Don't leave. Allison is pinned in his Texaco Haviland Ford. They're going to have to remove some sheet metal to get him out and get him to victory lane. And that finish, Earnhardt, Kyle Petty, Davey Allison, just unbelievable. Let's have another look.
This was after they got together. They tangled up going in the 3rd turn. Dale goes high. Kyle got down under him. They made contact going into 3, and this started.
Alan Kulwicki had to slam on the brakes, and he finally got out of it. Here's the finish.
Kyle Petty coming to the line. They get together right there.
Ooh.
And it's not over yet.
Oh, he hit hard.
Slam the driver's side if they're pretty good against the door. They might just be taking precaution. Davies' ribs have been bothering a good little bit anyway. They might just be really careful getting him out.
I noticed something there. He released the brake, so he was conscious. He released the brake. You notice the wheel turning, and then he locked it back.
So he was driving it when it rolled to a stop. There is a huge commotion around the Kyle Petty and Dale Earnhardt cars at the gas pumps,
to say the least,
where the cars come after a race is over, before post-race inspection.
That machine they're using right there on Davy's car, you can see it just snips those roll bars in two, and they'll just lift him directly out through the top of the car. See him, and they're moving around.
Here's Randy Pemberton.
Well, we're down here with Dale Earnhardt. Dale, there's been some exciting finishes in this race, none more so than this one. What happened up there between you and Kyle, and what else did you see?
Well, it didn't much happen between Kyle and I. I think it happened between Dave and them. We pushed just a bit off, too, and Kyle got his nose under us. And, you know, that's all it was. I tried to hold him down the back straightaway. And we went in 3 down there. He just took a little more than I wanted to give, and that's all it was to it.
Are those the rules of the Winston?
I don't know about the rules. As racing, he was trying to win. I was, too.
Okay, thanks, Dale. Maybe next year. Okay. Two-time winner Dale Earnhardt.
Now there's a gentleman. Here's a fellow who had a great time.
He actually, I believe he got in there, just got in there real hot. You know, Kyle's right there. Just like I said, we saw him down the back straightaway, totally off the racetrack on the apron racing to protect that spot, and they just used up the room. And here it looks like Kyle got a little bit loose right there, and lets Davey get his foot in the door. And once you get the foot in the door, I don't guess you're going to take it. These two really slam together.
There, and then he looks like he got him back right in there. Yep.
Well, the first of that was racing, but the second part?
No comment.
Hard to say. I'm sure in the heat of battle, anything can happen. And tonight, everything happened.
Well, I'll say this. I don't think either one of them would do that on purpose.
No.
If they bump together, and I tell you, you don't know what a car does after you touch like that. They could run back into each other, and it looks like he meant to do it. And certainly, I'm sure he didn't mean to do that to Davey.
Well, there's our race winner, though that's not victory lane. We'll get there in a little bit. Randy?
I'm here with Kyle Petty. Kyle, you drove your heart out. You tried to do what you had to do there in the last lap. What happened?
Well, you know, I got up under Dale. He pushed out the lap before that down and coming off too. And I got up under him, and he run me all the way down the inside, and it bottomed out hard, man. And when we went in 3, we just had a bad angle going in 3, and you couldn't get a good run going in 3. And his car got out from under him, and I had to wait on him, and I had a bad run, and Davey got a good, really good run at me. And there was just nothing I could do with Davey, you know. And we beat and banged all the way down through here, and as we come across the line, then he ended up trying to take me out a little further, and he spun around in front of me, and it was my fault. I probably should have backed out before then.
Kyle, your best finish in the Winston's been about a 12th. You got to feel pleased about the way that car worked.
Well, yeah, it worked really good. You know, I can't say enough about Robin Pemberton and John Wilson. You know, the motor was great. It was a little hot the first 30 laps, and the car pushed. And we come in, we took some tape off the front, and Robin made a few adjustments, and you know, they worked, and they worked really good the second 30 laps. And we made one more adjustment that worked really good the last 10 laps, and we just come up short.
Okay, thank you, Kyle. Let's go back upstairs to Mike Joy.
Thanks, Randy. Now, I did not mean to imply that Kyle had turned Davey around. 2 cars racing hard and trying to get squared away there, and things happen. Davey Allison wins it. Kyle Petty, Kenny Schrader. We'll be back.